friends. Happy July. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. It is a new month. The year is halfway, officially halfway over, and we are starting quarter number three. And it's summertime. I hope everybody is enjoying their summer and that the weather is being nice. We're having some cool weather right now, but I know it's not going to last for long. But for now, we're enjoying it. It's a little overcast and actually feels like it's going to rain, but it could be that way one day and the next day it could be 100 degrees. Who knows? So, hello, friends. If you're new here, my name is Deborah. My channel is Deborah's Money Journey. I am sharing my financial journey, and I usually try to go over my budget for the month. And so this month I will be covering my budget for the month of July. So let's get right into the budget for the month. All right. So for the month of July, my income, I am expecting to spend about $9,500. Extra money, rollover funds, that just means money that I rolled over from my last check that was in my buffer in my account. This would be that money. So that's $1,250. And then I pulled money from my sinking funds to the tune of $1,100. So my total income for the month is $11,850. So let's go through what I'm planning to spend and what my month looks like. And I do try to keep my categories broad instead of more narrowed because it's hard to predict all the time what you're going to be spending money on, but I like to at least have a budgeted amount for each category. So if we move to our fixed expenses, my first item is giving. That would be tithes, offering, donations. I do give. I just don't share that. That is private. All right, my mortgage. So my mortgage includes my taxes, my insurance. I am going to be budgeting $3,710.25. I think my payment is about $3,690, I believe, but I do put a few extra dollars on there. Not trying to really put that much towards it because I have other goals, but a little bit here, a little bit there will go a long way. All right, my HOA charges are $255. It's $257.99 with a little service fee. So that is what I'll be paying. Okay, guys. So last month I was so happy I got a tax refund. I don't know if you watched my last video, my budget video, but I was like thrilled. I got a little extra money. And then I kid you not, a week later, I got a bill in the mail and it was a tax bill. And I looked at it and I thought, well, maybe this is my taxes for the year, even though I already paid it. But it said, no, it's supplemental. That means it's extra or in addition to what you have to pay. So I guess when I did move, they had to calculate or recalculate the taxes. And so because of that, they calculated that I owe 2,000 more dollars. Isn't that wonderful? So this is what home ownership looks like in 2026. There's a lot of surprise fees, and I haven't even been in this home for a year yet, and I've already been encountering like some of these extra little charges and fees and things. And let me tell you, it definitely adds up. But the supplemental bill, you can split it up into two payments. So I'm just going to make the first payment of $1,000. That one is due on the first. So I'm going to get that one in. And actually, this is the first. So that one will get paid right away. But I do have a home sinking fund. And so I'm able to pull money from my home sinking fund to cover the things like this, which is wonderful that I have that savings because this would have really been a hardship if I did not have savings. And that is why I stress having something saved, especially for your home, because things will come up. There's not it might be, no, they will come up. And sometimes it's going to be a lot more than you think it's going to be. So having some savings is going to give you a little bit of peace of mind around that area. All right, my next item is SoCal Electric. That is my electric bill, $190 for the month. Now, I am paying about maybe $10 more than what the bill is, just to have a little bit of buffer, a little wiggle room. Golden State Water is $55. My gas is $25, and that's also giving me a little wiggle room. I believe the bill is about 20, and so I'm going to put 25 towards it. Then I have my car insurance, $163.50, and my internet is $71.25. So that is with Spectrum. And then my life insurance is $69.05. And my cell phones are $125. I have two cell phones. One is my primary phone, one is just like a backup phone. And the backup phone, the bill is only about $30, but the primary phone has, of course, is the used the most. Okay, so my grand total for my fixed expenses for the month is $5,667.04. So I think I will be doing okay with that amount. And this is fixed. So these amounts are, kind of true to what I owe and with a little wiggle room. But for the most part, this is what I'm expected to spend. All right, moving on to my subscriptions. Okay, so the first one is Sirius XM. I'm going to be paying $7.99. That is a monthly fee. Usually after 12 months, they will try to sneak extra charges on there and say that your 1 year special promotion is over. So when they do that, you just call them and say, hey, um, I'm probably going to have to cancel because I can't afford it anymore. And then they're going to bring it back down. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I've been paying about the same amount for this service. All right, Google memberships, $6. Microsoft Office, $9.99. Canon Direct is my printer service. This has been something I've been charged for every single month, and I wasn't even aware of it, but it was on my credit card. So this is just for to have the printer service. So when my ink is running low, I get more ink. And I think they had sent me like 3 or 4 extra boxes. So I haven't even had ink sent to me in a while. It's probably been a couple of years. And I kept telling them something must be wrong, but they said, no, we're monitoring your ink levels. Once they get to a certain point, they automatically send you more ink. So I guess I'm okay. Then we have Apple Storage, $9.99. And then my water is $46.08. Now, I did have one less bottle than I've had in the past. And I think last time when my bill was a lot more than I thought because they gave me an extra bottle. So they do charge by the bottle. So I only got 3 bottles this time around, but I paid $46.08. It also includes renting the equipment. So my total subscriptions for the month is $87.72. All right, moving on to my variable expenses. So groceries, I'm going to be budgeting $625. My gas, $400. Gas is going down, I mean, which is a wonderful thing. I noticed that um, about a month ago, our gas was about $6.75, 6.50. And now I'm seeing 5.25, and I even saw 4.99 at one station. So it is definitely going down, which is wonderful. But I'm going to keep it at $400 for now because it's not going down that much. So we'll just leave that there. My allowance, I'm going to budget $200, and that's just my personal money for myself. A car wash, I do get a car wash every month. And I go to where they do the hand car wash. So $40 is usually enough and enough for the tip as well. P.O. box, I was supposed to get a P.O. box last month. And a lot of things have happened over the course of the last month in my life. And if you really don't know or you want to catch up, Please watch my last video. It will tell you everything. I shared everything. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of my friends, all the people who support me, all of those kind well wishes, comforting words. Everybody is amazing. You all are such amazing people. And I felt the compassion, I felt the love, and I appreciate you all so much. All right, so let's move on to household supplies. That's $50, and that's just to buy things, around the house. It could be a cleaning product, it could be a trinket, whatever. I just like to have a little money to go towards that category. Eating out, I'm gonna kind of bump this up a little bit. I think last month it was 200, 250 because I do have some things to do this month. Me and some of the friends or people that I go to church with, we're gonna go to Catalina Island this month. And so we're gonna go out there, enjoy that boat ride. It's beautiful. It's nice to get on the water. And then we're going to go to one of the restaurants there. So just have a day of relaxation. That's what we're going to do. Seasonal activities, I'm going to go ahead and add 150 to this, and this would just be anything in addition, like an excursion or something to do with the summer activities that I'm planning. I do want to get a couple of packages for my cruise, so I might use this money for that too. You can buy your drink packages in advance, so I need to finish paying for that. And then you can also pay for excursions. So we haven't kind of discussed that, but that is another thing we're going to talk about. All right, grooming. It is time to get my little buddy is grooming. He is grown out and it's getting hot. So he needs to get groomed. So I'm going to be budgeting $110 for him to do that. And then unbudgeted is all the other categories I've probably forgotten about that I need to worry, that I need to take care of this month. $300 is what I'm going to be setting aside for my unbudgeted. So my total variable, I'm going to be budgeting $2,230 for that. All right. Now let's go to debt. So for debt, I'm going to be sending $300 to my Discover card, my Sam's Club card, $400, Ally Bank, $150. Again, this is the card that I put my taxes on. And I think what I'm going to do is because I'm going to be paying off my other card, I'm going to keep doing my weekly cash stuffing where I'm focusing on debt. And then I'm going to put whatever I save in the month of July on this Ally card. And then anything extra, I'm just going to take it from savings and have it paid off by the end of the month. So that'll be my plan for the month of July. And then for Wells Fargo, I'm going to add $50 because really I only owe about $200 on this card. And once I pay this and also pay the money from what I've been saving in my savings challenges, this one will be paid off for sure. So I should be, by the beginning of the next month, I should actually be focused on just paying off two credit cards, which is very exciting. So my debt, I'm going to be setting aside $900 for debt. Let's go to investments, the fun stuff. So I am going to be sending $1,000 to my investment accounts. That is a start. I always hope to send more. It's just I want to put a figure there. So $1,000 is kind of what I'll go for. But again, my goal is to save more than $1,000. And then my Roth IRA, $300 is what I'm going to set aside. But the same thing, I want to save more in my Roth. And I'll do that when I either focus on working on my challenges. And actually, what I normally do is I save this cash, put it in my retirement binder, and then I do some cash stuffings with that money. Then when I finish the challenge, or either when or when the month is over, because usually I can't finish the challenges because they're too large. But when the month is over, then I pull that money out and I go ahead and transfer to one of my retirement accounts, which I'm working on my Roth right now. So that's what I am going to do. And I will be sharing my June update as soon as I finalize all the figures because I'm still getting dividends because this is a month where you get all your quarterly dividends. So I should get a nice amount this month in dividends. All right, so my investments will be $1,300 for that. Okay, my savings account, I'm going to send $300 to my savings account. And then my emergency fund, 150. I have used some of my money in my emergency fund. My son, he traveled out for the funeral and he paid a lot of money for his plane ticket, which I don't understand why the ticket was so expensive. But I did tell him I was going to help him pay for the ticket. So I did give him money for that. So I just need to kind of add a little more to my emergency fund to put the money back in there. All right, so my total savings is $450 for the month. Then we head to sinking funds, and challenges. So my savings challenges, I'm going to set aside $500 and put those towards my savings challenges for the month. And then my sinking funds, $650 for that. So a total of $1,150 will be set aside to go towards my challenges and my sinking funds for the month of July. And so what am I going to be spending for the month? My proposed budget is $11,784.76. So that is a hefty budget. I'm hoping I haven't forgotten anything big because, sometimes you don't think of stuff until you've kind of already started the month and then you realize, oh yeah, this is something I have to do this month because it's always a time to do something exciting, or you could have plans with your family and you may just not kind of remember what's going on. But nonetheless, that's what I'm budgeting. I do have some wiggle room in there, and I purposely do that because I know that things do come up. I may forget, or they may just pop up surprisingly, and I want to have something prepared so I don't have to always pull money from my savings accounts. I really want to keep my savings accounts healthy, and if I can, bulk them up as much as possible because that's also going to help me when I retire to have that money. So that is the budget for the month of July, guys. I have budgeted a total of $11,850. I have given myself a little bit of wiggle room, not a lot, a little bit, and that should be fine for the month. And let's hope that we have a good month. I hope your month goes well, everybody. Hope you started your budget or you've completed it. Let's go. And if you're doing anything fun and exciting, let me know. I appreciate you all again. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.